A culture of silence, patchy records, volunteers filling gaps. UK police officers say not enough is being done to protect them. I issued freedom of information requests to all forces, asking how many policing days had been lost due to PTSD in the past 5 years. The data provided suggests the impact is massive, more than 178,000. That's equivalent to almost 490 years of officers' time. And absences are on the rise, from just over 23,000 days lost in 2020 to almost 37,000 in 2024. That's an increase of 59%. Last year, the average wait for those wanting to see a mental health professional provided by Occupational Health was 46 days. And depending on which police force they work for, that wait could be as long as 257 days. That's over 8 months. Officers told me what they believe are the main causes of PTSD.
My question to anybody is, why would you want to join the police? The salary's average, the hours are terrible, no one cares about you and no one respects you.
The average person will have 3 to 4 traumatic events in their life, and I think police officers will have 400 to 600.
We just do not have enough police officers to be able to cope with the level of crime and the population growth.
Everyone's so busy at the minute that nobody is actually looking out for the person next to them because they're all concentrating on your unique workload.
You're also in an environment that just doesn't care. It's a very macho environment.
The idea of a police officer is you are there to fix people's problems. You're not there to talk about your own
There is so much shame and guilt tied up in seeking professional help. People's core identity is tied up in what they do for a living. They're so fundamentally wrapped into each other that if somebody is then struggling with what they do for a living, it's like they're struggling with themselves.
I always remember the time I started to get ill, an officer said to me, "Don't ever go to anyone if you're having a difficult time with mental health. Only come to me. Because if you go to occupational health, your career's done."
As cops, we're naturally suspicious, and we hear about previous stories and the way our colleagues have been poorly treated. Or Andy said he was suffering from stress, so they pulled his advanced driving ticket, and now he's sat behind a bloody desk tape sending out parking fines. Those stories will permeate across decades, so to speak, and therefore you have a natural distrust of sometimes of the systems that you force put in place.
I think the impact of stigma and shame is huge, and I think that's the same right across the grades. And this is where an organisational cultural shift needs to happen, in my view, that it's absolutely understood and expected that the job will impact on people's psychological well-being, and it's absolutely assumed and expected that they will seek help because that's the professional thing to do.
So there has been a culture shift within my force. They brought in something called the TRIM process, which is a trauma referral process, which is a chance to, talk with your initial with your first line manager, and then they will make a referral onto an employee assistance program or any other kind of talking therapies or any other therapies that might be appropriate.
How TRIM is actually used is, we have TRIM, please ask if you ever want a TRIM. How many people ask? None. What officer's going to go, oh, I want TRIM, I want to speak to someone about my mental health? It's just not within the culture, and also, you don't know you need TRIM. When I went to instances where I've probably been traumatised and didn't realise, I didn't know I was traumatised because you're not aware and you're just thinking about the next job.
The frustration there is mountains of research out there about how to appropriately and properly support staff in a critical occupation, and ignorance of the research is not a defence. If we were sending staff into riots without riot gear, without shields and helmets and vests, we'd be absolutely up in arms.
What we're doing at the minute is we're waiting until people are broken to then treat them. I mean, how many people do you need falling into the river and drowning and coming down before you actually think, actually, where are they falling in?